Baby, are you okay to lie with May? Gay for May, that is. Welcome back to the show. And today we're looking at one of the thickest Transformers ever. Studio series, Bumblebee movie, Arcee. But Gay for May, I thought you said Windblade was the thickest Transformer ever. No, I said she was the sexiest. Come on, that's different. Well, what about Clobber or Striker? No, thick like my sister. Ultimately though, we're here to answer one question. Did Hasbro finally make a good Arcee figure? But before that, I'd like to thank this episode's sponsor, Big Black Boy Store, the online retailer for collectors with thousands of... What is it?
We got this from Big Bad Toy Store, and no, they are not sponsoring us.
What? They said they were gonna send me a gift for promoting their website. Oh, what the hell did they send me? Although Rise of the Beast products will be hitting shelves soon enough, there's still a few drops of blood Hasbro can squeeze from the stone that is the rock-solid Bumblebee movie. Is that movie rock-solid? I don't know, I just wanted to use the metaphor. Arcee's brief appearance in the opening scene makes her fair game for a new figure, but there's a heavy stigma floating around against Arcee figures, with many considering them to be poorly designed or just plain bad. I certainly wouldn't trust everyone's sense of taste though, but a lot of people were looking to this figure with hopes that it would tackle most of the prevalent criticisms of modern Arcee toys. Now, with the majority of these Cybertron-based Bumblebee movie characters lacking a vehicle mode, this gave the team a lot of freedom when creating new Cybertronian vehicles that mesh well with the existing robot, and it makes for a good opportunity to experiment, because an otherworldly appearance theoretically means you can make more creative decisions and potentially allows you to address one of the most common complaints with Arcee toys: shell forming. At best, people think of shell formers as disjointed, with the shell and the figure making up two separate but barely cohesive halves that effectively combine into one figure. And at worst, shell formers are considered inauthentic transformers that abandon conventional structural elements, like vehicle kibble, or other things that signify that the character indeed turns into a vehicle. With Arcee, the most common way of solving this invariably leads to remodeling the character, most often to add more vehicle kibble to a robot mode. But the designers have taken an altogether different approach with Studio Series Arcee by forming a vehicle from her exposed body parts with some limited vehicle-specific kibble added to unify the look. But with all that freedom and creative leeway, they still ended up doing the same old thing as usual. If they're not making a fembot a bike, they make them these weird long cars. And here they've split the difference and she somehow looks like both simultaneously. Not to say that I think it looks bad, it's way more alien looking than the other Bumblebee alt modes they've invented, which all kind of look like bizarre futuristic Earth vehicles, aside from, whatever this is. It has a unique presence while being unmistakably Arcee, and that's indicated by the many details that call back to her Earth vehicle mode, such as the canopy resembling the front portion of the car, as well as the rounded fenders and covered rear wheels. Oh my god, she has fake wheels! My immersion is shattered! My immersion! But while they've definitely made an Arcee that looks as if she turns into something, the original problem in essence is the believability in how she slips that hot white ass into that little pink Corvette. So changing the vehicle, much like making changes to the robot mode might I add, isn't so much a solution as it is avoiding the challenge entirely, especially given how Arcee here doesn't turn into any recognizable type of vehicle. But if you are strictly concerned with Arcee believably going from one form to another, without having to rely on fake parts or barely integrated vehicle mode, you could consider this a success. But it's a win that I honestly think can only be justified because it's a non-Earth based vehicle. Again, I don't have a problem with this mode. I like how it looks, it holds together very well. I just don't think it quite accomplishes what Arcee fans were asking for. So you want an Earth based Arcee that has no articulation and more kibble?
You kids don't know what you want.
The robot mode clearly draws heavy influence from the G1 design, but trading in her svelte, dainty figure for a chunkier and more robust physique. Now we love the chunky girls on this channel, and thankfully they haven't shied away from maintaining her feminine appeal, with a thin waist, wide hips, and a big fat ass. God damn. Are we sure Arcee doesn't transform into a dump truck? But despite the changes to her body plan as well as an injection of realism from the abundant mechanical details, they've left her iconic looking head instantly recognizable, aside from a new small antenna on the left side. Her face, however, looked incredibly ugly to me in the stock photos, where she has these very pronounced jowls. That seems to be a lighting issue, though she does have defined cheeks and the structures around her mouth in the official render. But I do feel as though they've been sculpted a little too prominently, especially when you can hardly see them in the movie. Wow, Arcee actually has kibble in the movie too, that's interesting. Unable to escape the sins of her sisters before her, Bumblebee Arcee continues the curse of her lineage by having all this junk in her trunk. No, I mean her backpack this time. It does contain basically the sum total of the major vehicle parts, so if you're directly comparing her kibble management to other Arcees, I can't say she's much of an improvement. But I would say that it's reasonably compact, doesn't really get in the way or unbalance her, and even these floppy fenders stay in place despite being unable to tab anywhere. Her paint is pretty minimal, mainly just to block out her face and differentiate the white and gunmetal portions of her torso. But I do love her cute little pink Autobot badge, you know, in case you forgot that she is a girl Transformer. You all didn't forget that she's a girl Transformer, did you? Arcee's posability is actually pretty above average, having a very expressive head, double jointed elbows, and a huge amount of range in her hips, though note that they are ball jointed. She also has these weird joints above her ankles, which are mainly used for straightening her legs out properly for vehicle mode, so you have to break her shins to get her to stand flat-footed in robot mode. In general, I'd say I'm pretty happy with this. She is among the best in screen to plastic translations, with the Nightverse designs proving to be distinct but faithful interpretations of the beloved characters, unique in her own ways, but visibly full of that classic Arcee DNA. I wish she was full of my DNA too. I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant now. Real Sarkeesian levels of feminist fury. Wait, let me get out my plaid shirt. Have you ever noticed how often in modern media, women are portrayed with small weapons like pistols, often dual wielding them? You see it everywhere, in American media, even in Japanese media. These are the only two sources of media that I pay attention to. Studio Series Arcee here has also befallen this damaging trope, as do so many other fembots these days. How do you expect me to smash the corrupt masculine Autobot Senate with just these stupid little pea shooters? Arcee is a warrior. In the original film, she was just as capable as any male Transformers, but they still gave her a dinky-ass pistol. Actually, one of my favorite details about the series Cyberverse was how Arcee's weapon of choice was often a minigun, but then they gave her a f***ing shitty pistol with her toy too. This is an incredibly discriminatory practice because it teaches young girls that they can only have one or two little weapons and can't have one big one like the boys. This wasn't a problem in the media of the past, so as a society, we've clearly regressed. What? Did all the Joss Whedons of the world suddenly get uncomfortable with a woman holding a big gun? Harder to abuse somebody if she looks like she kicks ass, huh? Or do they just prefer that women hold smaller guns because it makes it easier for them to fantasize that she's actually holding their little pee-pees? Hasbro, I'm calling on you to be better and to stop perpetuating these harmful stereotypes with your products. And you should start giving your figures big-ass titties. So overall, I'd say that Studio Series Bumblebee movie Arcee is pretty good. It takes a few liberties with the G1 design, running with it in a new direction, though clearly showing a passionate creativity, one that's mixed with a healthy respect for what came before. It doesn't lose sight of what makes Arcee Arcee. Unlike other recent figures, such as Legacy Prime Arcee, she's not groundbreaking per se, but she's definitely anything but disappointing. And did I mention that she has a fat ass? Special thanks to my friend Big Dick Burger, who not only lent his voice, but also gifted me this fabulous Arcee miniature featured in the review. Would you be interested in another Fembot video, good sir? You can see my Flame Toys Windblade review right here. But anyway, as always, that's just my opinions. Please leave yours in the comments below. Bye-bye. And you should start giving your figures big-ass titties. I was really getting into that.